Hi, it's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, coming from a new temporary location. I the last reading I did was called "When Lightning Strikes," and you know, I've taken a few days off because lightning definitely did strike. I'm actually here in Minneapolis today. I had to come here for a court appearance. Um, there's a thread on this channel called Vegan Cheese Empire that makes reference to my story. Um, I'm a vegan cheesemaker. I got embroiled into a debacle which climaxed yesterday in federal court here in Minneapolis. But it went well, and I'm excited to be liberated from that situation. It was an unjust situation which led to the demise of my beautiful vegan cheese company, which I was so proud of. But we're moving on, and we're starting over in a new era. And last night I actually did tarot readings at my favorite vegan establishment, Eureka Compass Vegan Food, which is a local establishment here in St. Paul. And I did readings there last night, and it was super fun. But on to the reading. I'm pulling out my Mystical Shaman Oracle deck because I've been really feeling this deck lately. And there's definitely been some massive shifts happening. And I feel like there's a lot of wisdom in this deck. So we're going to pull it out and see what it has to say. But yeah, it's been like a pretty epic week for me. Lightning has struck. A new era is starting. An old, oh my God. Right as I said that, I'm not even making this up. This is what flips out. Lightning! Yes, that is true. So actually there was 2 cards that flipped out, so I'm just going to take them because this is pretty epic, and life is pretty epic at the moment. I'm starting a new chapter. Oh my gosh. All right. So we got lightning and thunder. Like, how epic is that? So those are the overall energies for this reading. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. I had to stop for a second. But okay, so back to this. This is crazy. So we've got lightning and thunder, So lightning is sort of like, it's kind of like an awakening, So it's just sort of like you're getting hit with this jolt of inspiration from the universe because it's trying to like get your attention, like you've come into some sort of alignment with your destiny, and like, so this is sort of like a moment of truth, which is actually, it's really awesome, it's sort of like an awakening. And then we have thunder, which it's kind of a similar, they kind of go together, but this is sort of like a wake-up call, and it's just sort of like the way that it sort of describes it in the book, it's just like you've kind of come into an alignment with this certain destiny, but this is a wake-up call that you might have to let go of some situations that aren't in alignment with that, so for example, you kind of move along in life, and we're always kind of coming in and out of alignment with things, and there oftentimes when there's this big change, it's sort of like there's this reckoning where you might realize that the people or the situations that are around you aren't necessarily in alignment with actually your destiny. And so you're going to have to like, there's a wake-up call that happens, where you're going to have to like sort of make a choice, you're going to have to be conscious about choosing the outcome that's in alignment with your destiny, which sometimes isn't very popular, and so you might get hit with like a lot of resistance from people around you, or, you know, like drama, you know. But like this card is a reminder that like if it's not your drama, like don't worry about it. Like you are entitled to live. It's funny, like I was this is so crazy because I literally was having this conversation with my dad yesterday, and he was like, you don't need to take on any drama, you know. Like I'm like, yeah, that's right. Like I'm making my life a drama-free zone, you know. So it's just sort of like if you get hit with this drama and it's not yours, like don't hang on to it. Let it go, you know, because like this wake-up call is clearing the air, you know. And so it's going to be this big jolt, and you might get hit with some resistance, but keep moving forward and stay in alignment with your destiny, because this is a moment of growth. And like it might be that not everyone around you is in alignment with the destiny that you have in mind for yourself, but that's okay. Like we're all here for different reasons, and you know, you don't have to be. Like it's totally okay. But you know, don't stop yourself because that's around you, you know. Like don't let that hold you back. And then I pulled out the Radiant Wise because I'm going to get some overall energies for this reading. And this is at the bottom of the deck, which is the Ten of Swords, which is just sort of like the end of suffering, you know, like this situation that wasn't working for you, it's over. So you can leave that in the past, you know, like game over. This is so fitting for me because literally, yeah, like I was saying, I made an appearance in federal court yesterday and it basically ended this like epic drama that wasn't mine, you know, and like was holding me back from doing the work that I was meant to do, you know. Like I mean, it's my destiny in life. Like I'm supposed to be a vegan cheesemaker. Like there's a whole thread about that, you know. But like it's like I did a good enough job that I attracted this sort of unsavory situation to myself, and it culminated in a lawsuit in California. And yeah, yesterday I had to appear in court, and I think the judge was actually amused by my story because I think it's actually pretty colorful by like Minnesota standards, which is where I'm living. Like it's the kind of thing that like doesn't really come along too much. At the bottom of this deck, we have the King of Swords, which is just sort of like someone delivering a harsh truth. And then there's this pile of cards that just fell out, and I'm going to put them back. But I think when piles fall out, like that's to me like something that's like bubbling up and like needs to be released. And we got this Tower. So like there's this situation of lack and like unworthiness here that's being healed. And we're coming into like the King of Cups energy, which is this emotionally balanced, abundant, happy king who's like kind of in his power and his emotions are balanced, and like that's where we want to go, right? You know, but some, you know, there's like a harsh truth that's going to have to be delivered to like get there, which, you know, I think that goes along with my appearance in federal court yesterday. So yeah, I'm going to pull one more card for overall energies, but actually, despite this like dramatic moment, like the reading looks good, you know, so far. So yeah, one more card and then we'll get into, oh my gosh, crazy. Okay, so this card came out again. This is a card, the Five of Pentacles, and so it's just like a card of lack. What's my Poochie, Harley Ray. She's barking at someone in the hallway. Harley Ray! She's made some appearances in a few videos, but so this is a card of like of unworthiness, of like feeling like you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or you don't have enough, or it's just a card of lack. Like there's this church that has like everything you need inside, but you're like out in the cold with these crutches and like this is pretty epic for me because like my vegan cheese company that I was just speaking of, that like just went down in flames, was a company that I started literally while I was on crutches. Like I was in a physical therapy for 18 months after I was in this horrible car crash, and I started making this cheese and it just took off, you know. But like the company like started out of this situation of lack, and it like never grew out of that. It was like sort of saddled by that, you know. And so it's interesting because yesterday I kind of got released from that, and it was like my life's work and I was so proud of it, but like I had to like cut it loose because it got embroiled in some like messed up situations. You can check out the Vegan Cheese Empire. I mean, I can't really speak to it too specifically because it's like legal, blah, 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 but you don't really want to know anyways, to tell you the truth. But this energy has also surfaced a lot in this thread called stalkers, you know, because this lack energy in general, if you're harboring this energy in yourself, it's going to attract like unsavory situations, unsavory people, you know, because that's where it's resonating. It's like a low vibration. So like in order to sort of graduate to a better situation, like, and not attract that anymore, you have to heal that situation within yourself, you know, like that's this big lesson here, you know. But if you can do that, this is what's going to come along, you know. So this is like really beautiful of a reading. The 10 of Cups, which is just like, you know, it's just like total emotional fulfillment. Like you've got your abundance, you've got your happy family, you know, kids playing, like everything's good. And then we have the 2 of Cups, which is like a soulmate, deep love connection. It doesn't even have to be like a love relationship. It can be like any kind of partnership, you know, with a soulmate in your life, you know. But basically, this energy has to be healed in order to bring this energy in, which is crazy because like this speaks to like being hit by like a jolt of lightning and like awakening and like letting go of some sort of drama so that you can like move on to a new stage in your life, you know, which yeah, as I said, like yesterday was like pretty epic, and I kind of got like released from a bunch of stuff. So it's a beautiful moment in time. So I'm going to my like Chinese Rider-Waite Tarot, and we're going to pull some cards from this just to see some general energies that we might be moving through in this moment. But it's pretty game-changing moment is coming through right now, you know, which is great, you know, especially if you're ready to move on from like this situation that like, you know, sometimes we have to like, I've been telling people like what it feels like is like if you've ever seen the movie The Shawshank Redemption, and like so Tim Robbins' character, he's like busting out of jail, you know, and it's like been this long arduous process, and he had to learn all these lessons, and he, you know, like he dug a tunnel under the jail like with a rock, and it took him like 20 years to do this, and so he had to just like go through all this toil, you know. But at the end, the last thing he does before he escapes is he has to like swim through this sewage pipe, you know, and like he's like literally swimming through like poop, you know, and that's his path to freedom. And like at the end, it's just like, you know, like they say, it's like always darkest before the dawn. So you kind of have to like go through all that, but then like he comes out of it and he's been through all this stuff and he's like totally transformed, you know. He's had this like transformative moment, and like he gets his freedom, you know, like he graduates. And so like I think there's so many analogies to that in life, you know, because our external world is a reflection of our internal world. And so it's just sort of like you have to learn like this spiritual lesson within yourself, and then it will cause some sort of like shakeup that will happen and like turn everything like around, you know. So yeah, so the cards we have Strength, the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Wands. So it's really interesting how this fell out, because, you know, the Strength fell out right under this lesson of lack, you know, like we have to be strong, we have to heal ourselves in order and move through this energy in order to like, you know, move on. And then we have this love connection, this deep love, and we have this Queen of Pentacles, which this is a nurturing, loving queen. It can be an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but it's like, and she's like very nurturing and grounded because she's an earth sign, you know. It's, oftentimes she's like a businesswoman because she's like good with money and she's stable. But what's interesting is this Queen of Pentacles energy has really been coming through in the Divine Feminine readings, and the Divine Feminine has been embodying this energy lately, and that storyline, that thread has been intersecting with the dynasty threads and the epic love story threads. So those are some threads that you might check out. But basically, this Queen of Pentacles is like coming into alignment with this soulmate energy. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which this is a card of sort of like standing your ground, you know. So it's almost like whatever this event was that happened, there's some resistance to it. Like not everybody wants this to happen, you know, like, and so whoever this queen is, she's going to have to stand her ground against some resistance in order to bring this in. And then on the next row, we have the Ten of Swords. So this is an epic ending, you know, like the past is over, it's dead. Whatever this sad energy, it's like we're overcoming this, you know, which is good, but it's just a difficult moment to walk through. But it doesn't get any worse than this. This is like rock bottom. Like, this is me yesterday, like, bankrupt, homeless, and showing up in federal court. Like, it's pretty much like rock bottom. Like, it doesn't get any lower than this, you know. But then, once you hit the rock bottom and you release all of that, you have the Death. So there's a transformation that happens, you know, like we're transforming this situation. And this Queen of Pentacles is coming into alignment with a new situation that's like gonna serve her better, you know. But in order to bring that in, she's gonna have to tell the truth, and she's gonna have to draw boundaries around herself, you know, in order to bring this in, because there is some resistance. Like not everybody's gonna be happy about it. Like there's gonna be drama, because there's gonna be people that want things to stay the same. They want things to stay as they are, you know. And so this Queen of Swords is a queen who just doesn't, she's kind of no nonsense, and she's been through the ringer. And so she doesn't like put up with any guff. Like she's just sort of like, this is how it is. This is the truth. Like she's not going to put up with like a situation that's not going to serve her anymore, because she's already learned this lesson. And so she's drawing boundaries around herself so that it doesn't happen again, so that she can be in this energy, you know. And that starts with her. That starts with her knowing her worth and like defending it, you know, against people who like might not have the best intentions for her, which that's pretty much my story. I can't really speak to it that specifically, but you could probably get the idea, you know. It's pretty crazy. This is making me laugh. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to pull 3 more cards of guidance from the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, but I got this 9 of Pentacles, which this is a swinging single card. This is a woman who's like come into her power. She's in alignment with her truth. She's financially abundant, stable, and she just doesn't need anyone's help. Like she's just on her own in her power, you know. And that is interesting because both the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles energies have been orbiting around the Divine Feminine archetype in the Divine Feminine readings lately. And it's really interesting because the Divine Feminine readings that I've been doing lately have been super powerful. Like the Divine Feminine is going through some sort of ascension where she's learned this karmic lesson, and the tables are turning, and like whatever situation she was in is like changing. And so, and it's really been intersecting with, like I said, the Epic Love Saga thread and the Dynasty threads. Really interesting stuff. Okay, so we got OMG. Okay, so we got three more cards. We got the 3 of Wands, which this is a card of waiting for your ships to come in. And like you see on the horizon like where you're going, and you're just kind of like waiting for the moment to like line up. And then we have this Page of Swords. So this can be like a message of truth or clarity coming through, but this also can be like a stalker energy, which is interesting because like I said, this energy, these 2 energies have been coming up a lot in this thread about stalkers, which is like this toxic situation that's been blocking the Epic Love Saga from coming through. It's been blocking the Divine Feminine, and it's like an energy that's been needing to be healed in order to bring in her destiny, you know. So it's interesting because we have this Queen of Pentacles, you know, we have this destined situation, you know, and we have this change over this toxic situation. Like whatever this is that's been blocking, is this destiny is changing. Like it's going through a transformation. And then we have the Queen of Wands, which this has been coming up a lot too in the Divine Feminine readings. And this can be a card that signifies like the energy of the other woman. So, but this is a woman who's like in her power, and she's like in command of her emotions and has figured out how to channel that energy to bring things into the 3-dimensional world. Like she is in her power, she's in command of her emotions, and has figured out how to manifest things using the power of her emotions in like a really positive way, you know. So this Queen of Swords, who's kind of cut through some sort of dramatic situation that's not serving her, she's like stood her ground, and in doing so, she's like come into her power, you know, like, and so now that energy is being used to manifest this outcome, you know. So it's sort of like the evolution of this energy. It's like first she draws like boundaries around herself and toxic situations that are like sort of robbing her of her energy, you know. She stands her ground and she protects herself, and then once that's no longer being like sucked away from her, she can use that energy, you know, she comes into her power, and she can use that energy to manifest this for herself in the world, which is cool, you know, because that's what you want. But it's like it has to start in the energetic realm first, you know, because everything starts with energy, you know. So pretty beautiful reading, you know, about empowerment and like leveling up and sort of the process. I'm going to the Sacred Traveler deck because I'm going to pull one card of guidance from here to end the reading, but this reading is getting kind of long and epic, but it's beautiful. Oh, okay, this is crazy because this card was at the bottom of the deck when I pulled it out, and I'm like, oh, I should just keep pulling cards, but we got in the flow. Everything is smooth sailing. So this is a reminder that, you know, these dramatic situations will happen, but follow your guidance and stay in the flow, and you're going to be okay. Like, we're moving through this situation on the road to something else, which is the next card, overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. Stay in your flow, because this boulder, like, we're moving through this, you know, like this bolt of lightning and is hitting it, and thunder's happening because this is changing, you know, like that's moving out of the way. And then we have grounding. Go deep and explore your roots. So, you know, don't worry about like all this drama that's happening like all around you. Like, it's gonna be okay. Just stay true to yourself, follow your guidance, and like keep moving. And it's gonna be a beautiful outcome. That's the guidance for today, and we'll be back soon with another message.